Hey Thrivers, welcome back to my channel, Thrive Life Care. I'm Shelby and I'm so glad you're here today. It's another beautiful fall day. The sun is shining. It's in the 60s. It's nice and just harvest in the air. It feels so good. I hope you're enjoying your day. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about what happens when you hit your breaking point with a narcissist or a pathological liar. Just somebody who doesn't meet your needs. The relationship doesn't meet your needs. So what do you do? Let's say that you've hit your breaking point and the line you drew in the sand was crossed. So what do you do? Well, the first thing I would say is cut off all contact with the person if that's possible. If not, for some reason that you cannot get away from that person, then there are some things that you could do to make it easier on yourself. So, got me some pumpkin and spice. So if you can't cut off all contact, what I suggest is that you just totally ignore them. Okay? Don't pay them any attention. Just grossly ignore them. Okay? Don't tell them your business. Don't tell them what you're thinking. Don't tell them what you want. You just keep all that to yourself. Because, when you're ignoring somebody, you're not talking to them anyway. You need to ignore, ignore, ignore. Become very boring and make them very unimportant in your life. Okay? The second thing is we're never going to ask them for anything. You don't want advice. You don't need help. You don't need anything from them. So don't ask. Ask for nothing. Distance yourself emotionally, psychologically, and physically when you can. You also want to go back to doing what you used to like to do. Make some time with your friends, your family. If you love to paint and you stop painting, go back to painting. Whatever your habits were or your hobbies were before the person, go back to what you had before. If your life was good and meaningful and satisfying, go back to doing some of those things. And possibly what will happen is, you'll get your old self back. So go back to seeing your friends and family. Work on your self-care. Work on self-improvement. Make yourself the priority. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. It's about you now. Once you realize that there's nothing you can do to change anyone, you kind of have to just let it go. Let it go. Because by hanging on and trying to love a person enough to change or, teaching them something so that they could change or, giving them books as a gift, hoping they will read them and want to change. If none of that's helped, you need to just throw your hands in the air and say, I'm done. Because you can't change anyone else. They have to want to change. So, that's called radical acceptance. When you just accept the truth as it is and know that you can't change somebody else's truth and you can't make them say or do or be what you want them to say, do, or be, because that's what you need. You have to let it go. So put yourself number 1, number 2, and number 3. 4, 5, and 6. Make yourself the priority. Focus on yourself and let go of what you can't change. And practice that radical acceptance. Because, sometimes when we don't accept reality for what it is, we have hope that it could be different. When you begin to accept reality, then you just let it go. It is what it is. And you have to accept what is for what it is. And that's healthy. Everyone needs to make sense out of their life. And if you're experiencing a relationship that doesn't make sense, and you've tried everything you know to do to make it make sense, and it still doesn't make sense, stop that. Stop that. Focus on yourself. Work on yourself. And be happy. Learn to be happy from within. And then guess what? The rest kind of just takes care of itself. And if you're in a situation with somebody who doesn't fulfill your needs, and you've talked to them, you've tried to be the bigger person, tried to love them more, tried to work on yourself so that it would be better and nothing worked, radical acceptance. That's the final step, is radical acceptance. And when you do that, that's called living in reality. You got to let go of the fantasy and live in reality. Put yourself first. Take care of yourself. And things just will start naturally falling into place. Because that person that won't work on themselves, you have to get to the point of accepting they will walk away besides working on themselves. A lot of people don't have the guts to work on themselves. They would rather keep their head in the sand and keep being dysfunctional. And probably what will happen is they will move on to someone who will allow them to continue to be dysfunctional and think it's okay. But if it's not okay for you, then put yourself first. Make different priorities. Take good care of yourself. And practice radical acceptance. So I hope that speaks to somebody out there that needs to hear that. Truth is what matters, not fantasy. If you enjoyed the content, give it a like, possibly subscribe, share it with somebody who else might need to hear it, and love yourself. So, hope you're enjoying your day. Thanks for coming and watching the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye now.